All right, so several parliamentary committees headed to Eskom today, ostensibly to find answers and devise interventions to the load shedding crisis. It aimed to cover a lot of ground, including the security of electricity supply, sabotage and theft, governance, part of a two-day oversight mission starting with organised labour yesterday. Let's hear how things went and what was accomplished. I'm joined by Sahlulele Luzipo, the Portfolio Committee chairperson on Minerals and Energy. How would you describe, good evening by the way, and welcome, thank you for your time. How would you describe how that went today?
Well, good morning and good afternoon. You won't be surprised if I tell you probably why I say good morning in the afternoon. And the viewers at home. Look, yeah, it's tough. All what I can say is that we are so disappointed with the manner in which the leadership of the power utility has handled the whole issue. There is nothing, honestly, that we can report to, which is precisely that reason we said that we need now to have, one, the chairperson of the board, two, the CEO, three, the COO and the CFO coming to the committees in Parliament in Cape Town, because we members felt that they were not treated with decency, complete disrespect. One, the COO was not in the meeting. Two, the COO came to the meeting only to be released so that it can be released at 11 o'clock. And members didn't take kindly to that because this is a meeting that was scheduled to meet with them probably by yesterday. And they requested that the meeting be shifted to Friday. Now, the manner in which they completely have disregard for the portfolio committees of Parliament, members took exception to that and therefore had to instruct them that it will be them now who will travel and meet with the committees in Parliament, because we're dealing with a very serious matter. For an example, one of the things we were told...
Before you move on, Mr. Luzipo, sorry, just a second. Just on the fact that the COO and the CEO weren't there, we understand that they had to, or they were attending a meeting of the World Bank. What did you hear about that?
No. We were told that the CFO was to attend a meeting of the World Bank. That meeting of the World Bank then had to have been shifted, and therefore the CFO was part of the meeting, was not going to leave the meeting. The point is simple. If you have the procedures of Parliament, in fact, general procedures of the meeting, if you are not going to be in the meeting, you then send a letter of apology, and that must first be considered by the committee, and based on the committee and the reasons given. For an example, one of the reasons we were told is that he's going to meet donors. And the next question that was baffling was that, how do you meet donors alone when you have already resigned? How do you then meet with the donors and commit those who will remain behind on a matter that yourselves, you know that in 2 months' time you won't be there, and you ignore a meeting of the Portfolio Committee of Parliament? And how do we know that the conditions of those donations will be when you are no longer within that power utility? So we members took a serious exception, and it also sends a message that what the unions were reporting probably is correct, because any person who understands the nature of trauma and conditions people are subjected to would have left everything so that we can be able to find solutions with them.
We'll come back possibly if we have time, Sahlulele, on the issue of the unions. But essentially, this was a complete fiasco and a complete waste of time and money, wasn't it?
Most definitely. We can't. Even when you look at the report, it did make the report, but we are saying the report is the same report that we have been given before. It's not. There's nothing new. And what makes matters worse that report has got no short-term and immediate intervention that must be done. Now, if you give us a report and you are already saying you are on your way out, and you give us a long-term report, you are even saying to then you are committing those who will come after you, that they will have to start where they will have to deal with what is left behind. Our view is that you needed to have an immediate and an intervention that says we are intervening in this immediate and then in the midterm and in the longer term, this is how we are looking at this thing. You can't start from far when you know that you won't be there at that time, you'll be long gone, and not have anything that you are saying I'm doing now to intervene on the current situation.
Well, what you're saying by, your account is that, the CEO, Andre de Ruyter, and his executives, especially those that are outgoing, don't care.
Well, that behavior and that conduct and the manner in which they treated the meeting, most definitely, in our view, members felt that it completely undermines Parliament, because their presence and their, by virtue of being there, it is a known fact that we are there to represent Parliament, and that is the exception that we said. Members said they are taking on that kind of a conduct.
Right.
And when you schedule a meeting, when there is another meeting on its own, says a lot.
So how much did this visit cost the public purse?
Well, we wouldn't know, but we can't regret the fact that we have met with the unions. We can't regret that we have seen and saw it on our own. Remember, we could have continued with the meeting, but we're going to receive the same thing too. If you continue with the meeting, but the accounting officers are not present in the meeting, then what purpose is it going to serve?
Yeah, but in the context of belt tightening and accountability, the public would like to know this wasted exercise, which you concur was a complete fiasco. How much did it cost us?
Well, I wouldn't know, but I wouldn't say when people are undermining the institution of Parliament, we should then say that there is something we could have done. As I say, all those who were supposed to be accounting were not present in the meeting, and we were never aware that they will not be part of the meeting. They never said we will not be part of the meeting. By the way, we could have ended the meeting when we met the unions yesterday. So I can stand now and say, well, this is what will have happened, and if we had continued with the meeting, it could have been a waste of time more than I think it has been.
All right. Sahlulele Luzipo is the Portfolio Committee Chairperson on Minerals and Energy. Thank you for talking to us.